Like, where are the people tonight? Where are our people? Yeah, yeah, they left. They left you and Vicky doing all the talking. That's not fair.
I'm here, Sunday.
Oh, Shante, how are you?
I'm good. I got some background noise, so that's why I'm on mute.
Okay, where are the babies? Where are the wonderful babies?
He's with my mom, my Zacharias, and my daughter's in the living room.
Okay.
And they're all pretty loud, so.
Yep.
Here.
Who will not be loud when you are with mommy? Mommy is very important. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, mommy.
Yep. Mommy is a wonderful thing.
Hey,
yeah.
Sorry, this battle of Ruth. I came on late yesterday, but yeah, the story is something else.
Well, we still love you. You know that.
Love you guys too.
Yeah, Vicky and Roslyn said I should tell you that whether you came early, whether you came late, however you came, they all love you. That you came.
Yeah, love you guys too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So yesterday was about raising the dead, how to raise the dead, how to have a big miracle, a big wow miracles. It's a long, is it 2 or 3 hours broadcast? That's really pretty long. I was wondering whether I should cut it into tiny pieces, but sometimes I just want to keep it so that only those who want it can have some time that they make out for themselves and watch it and yeah.
The way it is, I like it.
Yeah, and then you can just get everything all at once and go and put it into practice.
Yeah, all the keys are there.
Yeah. Somebody by name ICV, that's the initial, and you live somewhere in Sweden. If you are watching this, your package is coming to you by DHL, but you owe me a lot of money because it cost me about $200 and something to post your package. And somebody in Trinidad, your package is coming by DHL, so it's gonna be pretty fast. You are owing me $106. That's what it takes to rush it out to you guys. All right, let's go.
Oh man.
Yep. I just want to make sure that, because one of the things that we have been experiencing with mailing packages, especially to overseas and to some places in the United States, you mail it by the United States Post Office. Even if you send it by priority or first class, sometimes they get lost. You don't get it back. It doesn't reach the people, so it's just crazy. So nowadays, whatever people want and they need it badly, they're gonna pay for it to be shipped, because I'm doing a lot of things now by DHL so that there's no way it cannot get to you. And you're gonna sign for it to get it. All right, so it will be nothing like, oh, you didn't get it. You're gonna sign for it. So I'm putting that on them. Now let's go. Yesterday, can anybody tell me the most important thing that you picked out of all that we did for several hours? What is it that you are going to seriously apply to your life? What is it that you are going to seriously apply to your life from what we did yesterday?
For me, I know it was the one key, what you're doing and saying will happen.
Yep. Yep, that's just the way it is.
Out for me.
Yep. You saw what Jairus did and said. That's what happened. And that is how it should be. Just as simple as that. Shante, I'm very proud of you. Now you know that there's no use of crying and saying things that is negative. So it's not just about being negative in life. It's about knowing that you carry with you the seed that make things possible. Please write that down. You carry with you the seed that makes things possible. And there's a lot of different seeds you are carrying that makes things to come to pass. And one of them is that you are connected with the great and blessed one. Holy Spirit, we ask for your help tonight. Our desire is to love you, to hug you, to hold you, to comfort you, to show you that we care. We are very compassionate. We are very caring towards you. Truly, truly, we care about you. We want you to walk into this meeting tonight to reveal the perfect will of the Father and of the Son, Jesus the King. Lead this mission. Lead the mission of this ministry. We ask you for leadership and for guidance. We are willing to experience the phenomena of heaven in our midst. We are willing that you do things the way you want to do it. That will change the course of history of my covenant partners, myself, and of the different nations of the earth that are represented in our ministry. We ask for a great reward because we have sown so much. These are tools, both our money and the word, the good things, cash and kind that we have put out there is for you to use to do great things. We ask you to visit us tonight in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen.
Let's look at chapter 2 of Ruth.
Okay. Ruth meets Boaz.
Okay.
Okay. Chapter 2. There was a relative of Naomi's husband, a man of great wealth, of the family of Elimelech. His name was Boaz.
Okay, stop there.
Okay.
What did the Bible says about Boaz? The Bible says that he was broke.
He was a wealthy man.
He was a wealthy man. But there's something more about him. As we proceed, you will see more about him.
And he was very influential.
He was influential. He was wealthy. There was something else.
He was also a relative of Naomi's husband.
He was also a relative of Naomi's husband. There's something else. Along the way, as we read, you will see more about him. He was a devoted man, devoted to his job, and devoted to the people around him. He was loyal and committed, but there's more about him. He was an honorable man, but there's more about him. He was an honest man, but there's more about him. Let's find the words for him. He was very wealthy. He was very loyal. All these things that we've spoken. Very honest.
Was single.
Well, we don't really know about that. We don't know about that he was single. We don't know that. The Bible doesn't tell us. Is there any way you read about whether he was married or not? Is there any way you see that? Huh? Do you think a man like that wasn't married?
No, it didn't say that he was married, but that he was single, but it didn't say that he had any wife.
It didn't say he had any wife. They didn't say that he was single either.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But we can tell how old will this man be? Because it takes years to accumulate this kind of wealth. And he was a landowner. So we can infer from there that he wasn't a single man. He might have been a married man. Might have had children. Because we are talking of the culture of ancient people. We are not talking about the culture of now. I saw this as a married man that already had kids and had a lot of land, a lot of wealth, was already advanced in years. He was a man that can spot good things, that can spot a good person. He wasn't a man that talks a lot. He was a good businessman. That's another word. He was a righteous man, a man that tries to do the right thing. Remember that in ancient Israel, if a man dies leaving his wife, it was customary for that wife to go to be married by somebody in that family that she's married to one of the men there. I hope you guys know this custom. For the living to produce children that will not be named after the man that has them, but to produce children that will be named after the one that died that had no children. I hope you know this. I hope you understand this culture, this custom. See, Sarah said, I am giving you Hagar for a marriage, so that the child that Hagar will bear will be mine. I want you to get it. Remember that the handmaid of Rachel and the handmaid of Leah, the children that they bore were not theirs. The children they bore belonged to Rachel and to Leah. You get how the culture works. He was a wealthy man, hard-working man, very smart, very devoted to his God also. From the way the story is written, we can apply our emotion and sensitivity, not even going there with our spirit. Except you want to, then you can know even more. Can infer that this was a man that has a household already. And he was also dedicated to his job. He was a big-time farmer. Very big. Because if he was a married man, why is it that he didn't promise Ruth marriage at once, when that Naomi has to make it happen for Ruth to go and tell him, you should do what you should do. I am at the farm so that you can discover me. And let's make children to carry the name of those that have passed. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading.
Okay. Verse 2. So Ruth, the Moabitess, said to Naomi, please let me go to the field and glean heads of grain after him, in whose sight I may find favor.
Okay, listen.
And
let me go, because the way it sounds is like she just walked out there and said, I'm going to get a job. Because that's how it sounded. There's somebody who is scratching something. Because the way it sounds is like she's going out there to try and get a job. Let me go out there and glean in the field of whom I might find favor. Do you think that when they arrived in Bethlehem, do you think that Naomi did not tell Ruth who Elimelech was? Do you think that Ruth just walked off into the city and just walked into somebody's farm and started working with them? Do you think that is how it happened? Will anybody allow her into their farm if they didn't know her? Come on, think about it. Because that's the way, when you read the way it is written, that's the way it sounds like. She just walked out and said, let me go and get a job. And ended up in Boaz's farm. No. Because verse 1 is already establishing that Boaz was a relative of Elimelech, Naomi's husband. What does that automatically tell us? Is that, okay, let's put it this way also for you to see. How were they eating and feeding since they came back? Do you think that they just came back and food was already there? No. Who was feeding them?
how is the community?
No, cannot be. Remember that they left the home behind, so they're coming back to their home. Remember too that Elimelech and his two sons had land, so Naomi had lands also. Remember that. And that land was lying, nobody was planting in it. Nobody was sowing in the land and reaping in the land. So the land has been lying fallow. Who knows? It's possible that relatives might have been planting it. Because they will not just leave their land and go to Moab like that without putting it in the hand of their relatives. Does that make sense, please? Does that make sense? Will you leave your country and go to another country? You have house or houses and land. Will you just leave and things will fall all over? Will you not give it? Will you not ask your family members to take care of it? Is that not what you do? Come on. That's why I say to you, bring your sense and your emotion into the story of the Bible. Because I do not just want to bring revelation into it. I want us to bring everything into it. So it means that they came back. Their family members were there. Elimelech's family members were there. Naomi's family members were there. That's why he said when they arrived, the entire city was in uproar. They welcomed them back. They were shocked. You won't. I mean, I will disagree with anyone who will say to me that the people back home did not know that Elimelech and his 2 sons are dead. Do you think that words were not sent back home to let people know that they were coming home, or to let people know what has happened to them? They knew. I mean, nobody will be bereaved without letting people back home know. It doesn't make any sense. Because the way it is written like people didn't know what was happening to them. No, they knew. And you are going to see what I'm telling you along the way, that Boaz already knew about Naomi and Boaz and Ruth. The story about how good Ruth was to her mother-in-law in the land of Moab, and since they came back has spread. And the possibility of Naomi telling Ruth, because this is when Ruth said, "Let me go and glean in whose field I find favor." This is what it is. It was not just Boaz alone that had land, was a married man, had great wealth. It means that Naomi's family, Elimelech's family, were wealthy people. That's why that family, there was a lot of wealthy people there. So it was not just Boaz alone that had land and crops and animals and great wealth and feared God and loved a good life. There were other people in Naomi's and in Elimelech's family. So Naomi has sat Ruth down and said to Ruth, "That is my uncle, that's my aunt, that's Boaz, this is how he is connected with my husband, that is my husband's senior brother, that is my husband's junior brother." They were all there. And they were all wealthy landowners. So you can go into any of their land. You can go into any of them and walk there. That's the meaning. You can now choose which of them you want to go and walk with. And it's possible that with Boaz, because there were more women working in Boaz's farm, in Boaz's company business, so that might have attracted Ruth to go and work with them. Because that's family. It's a family business. And you will not tell me that Boaz did not know that Ruth was working with him. He knew. He was seeing her. And we are going to see the reason. It's also possible that Naomi had discussed with Boaz that Ruth should come and work in Boaz's farm. Because that's the real thing there. Because Ruth cannot just walk into anybody's farm and go and start helping out. Even if you want to do volunteer work, do you just walk into somewhere and start working with the people without doing paperwork? Do you? Even if you're going to volunteer, do you just go in and start volunteering? Is that how we do it?
No.
Okay. So why do you think that Ruth just went in and started working, picking crops with Boaz? This might have been thoroughly discussed. The entire thing was set up by Naomi. So from the word go, Naomi targeted Boaz. It was not just because Boaz was wealthy. There were other wealthy family members. But Naomi saw in Boaz the kind of person that can help reproduce for the family. And that can also, that is, Boaz was the more caring of all of Elimelech's brothers. And her own family too. It's like this. Naomi is like saying, I married into this family and nothing came out of this family. I'm going to keep it in this family. All that I have right now is the strength of my heart and my daughter-in-law. You see, Naomi did not counsel and guide Ruth to marry into her own family, that is, into Naomi's family. No. I want you to get it. Because there were men there in Naomi's family. But Naomi made sure that their husband's people are going to be the one that she, Naomi, will continue to benefit from. Because she is married. So you see, just like Ruth didn't want to go back to her own family in Moab, Naomi also refused to go back to her own family. I want you to get it. It's like something in her knew about the battle of the future, that the seed of the future that makes a human being is being destroyed. 3 men are already gone. Death was pushing Naomi to go back to her family. And she's like, no, I'm not going back to my family. I'm going to stick it out within my late husband's family. And I have something that I'm going to use to get all that I can get in this family. Because I believe in this family. And I believe that this family has the future. Not Naomi's family, but her late husband's family. That's why she pushed, she maneuvered, she taught, she discipled, she blessed, she guided Ruth towards her late husband's family. And that if Ruth is going to be married, Ruth is not going to be married into Naomi's family, but Ruth is going to be married to Elimelech's family. One of Elimelech's brother is going to do the job of what we call a kingsman, which means there is someone who is a widow in the family, one of the family of, because get it, Ruth's husband is from Boaz's family. Elimelech is of Boaz's family. So it now is necessary that if Ruth is going to be married and have a family of her own, which will also give foundation and substance like it has always been to Naomi, now Ruth must be married into the late Elimelech's family. A man from there must marry Ruth. Why? Because Elimelech's land, if an outsider married Ruth or married Naomi, Naomi will lose the land that belongs to her late husband. So to keep everything in the family, so that there is no male that come to challenge Naomi for the property of her late husband and her late children, because the children also had property. So Ruth will be the person that will go. She will be the sacrifice that will be pushed in to destroy whatever came to attack Naomi. It's like something in the Elimelech's family did not want Naomi. Something in the Elimelech's family did not want Orpah and Ruth. And now, Naomi must fight back. I got married into this family to stay. I came here for profit also. And I did not come here to lose land and to lose having children. Now I don't have children, but the outsider who is now an insider is going to be the sacrifice that is going to destroy whatever is fighting the future from coming or from them walking into it. Because you see, members of Elimelech's family are having prosperity. But Elimelech did not live to enjoy his own prosperity, and neither his sons and daughters. And now his property is at stake. And Naomi cannot control this big land that the husband and the sons have left for her. This big house. So somebody who is strong enough must come in to protect, to guide, and to give leadership at a time of crisis. Now Naomi has been giving leadership. But now, you see, Naomi was a very good woman. Now, Ruth must step into that. Ruth must step into leadership. You see the way Ruth behaved. How powerful her words, her daring character. Daughter, if you are going to wait for these men to approach you, they've already heard how nice you are. You are too beautiful. You are too intelligent. You are very daring. They are afraid of you. None of them will come to you. So you go to them. Because Elimelech's family is also afraid of Naomi. Why? She came back. And so those who were going to get a free land, a free house or houses, they lost out. Because Naomi is back. So those who were planting in the land, they have to give 50% of that crop back to Naomi and to Ruth. Because that's their land now. That's their land, still their land. You see, Naomi and Ruth are business women. They understand the legality of marriage. They understood the laws of relationship. And so they kept it in their family. You go outside to people you don't know, they come to take. It will be a free. But now, we're going to keep something in the memory of the dead. And we're going to keep something in memory of the living. And this is what the law says. And this is how we are going to handle it. Naomi was just amazing. Amazing negotiator. Because for many of you, you will see as this is a woman that is leading the daughter-in-law astray. And you cannot see the legal implications of things. You cannot even see the spiritual implication of the future. I don't have no sons or daughters to continue the family. Therefore, my daughter-in-law is going to go in. And that's how I'm going to get children. The children of Ruth are going to be my children. And they are going to be the children of Elimelech and the children of Mahlon and Chilion. The children of Naomi and the children of Ruth. So it was not just Ruth going in to get married, it was more than that. The implication is wide, is big. So it's not as simple as you just see the story. Each verse is a summary. Every verse you are reading in the book of Ruth is a summary of a lot of things happening. So keep reading.
Okay.
It sounds like go around and check out the farms. Check out the farms of members of the family. All these men with big land that are family members. Go and check out their land. One of them will possibly invite you to come and work with them. It also looked like it has been discussed between Boaz and Naomi and members of the family that Ruth should be coming to work there. And so a command has been given that if Ruth appear, you are going to see what I'm seeing as we read on. When Ruth come, make space for her, give her work to do, you are going to see, because it sounded like she just walked out to go and get a job. That was not it. It was discussed. Let me share something that a lot of Christians and a lot of religious people, they lack to understand. Everything must be negotiated. Things are not just prayed for. They are negotiated for. Let me give you something that happened last night. Immediately after we finished the conference of last night, I was talking with two people, one from Trinidad and one from I think Aruba. Yeah. I finished ministering to them. I think either while I was or I think it was after. I can't remember it. Everything went so fast last night. I was ministering till like around 5 o'clock this morning. 5. Suddenly my phone rang. And because I do not pick phones anymore from Africa, I'm tired. But when I look at the phone number, it was my boss. It was my boss calling me. So I said, yeah, your boy is here. And he gave me the good news. My boss is now, because something happened, was it last year, and some people were making noise about how there's one of my colleagues that is in charge of something, so people are making some noise and all of that. So I'm like, I went to the altar and I asked God. That was there was a certain position he was supposed to hold some years back. Then they bypass him and all of that, and then they bypass him again. Then there was another position, they bypass him again. I said, all right. So I prayed, because whenever my boss is in charge, it affects me. I benefit a lot. I love him very much. But hear the good news. He gave it to me last night like this. there is what we called African Communion of Reformed Churches, which means all the Presbyterian churches and all the Reformed churches in all of Africa. Can imagine how many there are. There's a lot. There are thousands or millions. Lot. From one end, north, south, east, west, central. They went in for election for the person that will be the president, His Eminence. This more than Archbishop. It's a big position. Because this is the whole African continent. The person to lead it. So they choose His Excellency Omar Guamunta, that is his name. He studied in the University of Stellenbosch in South Africa. That's where he got his PhD. They chose him. So he's in charge. He's the dignitary in charge, the prelate. He's the prince in charge of all of these churches in all of the continent of Africa. That's huge. So I was shouting last night like crazy. When people bypass you, you may think that they are doing you bad. You do not know that God is putting together a bigger package for you. That's why I say to you, when things happen that you think are bad things, do not cry. Don't do it.
Amen.
God is putting together a bigger package for you.
Hallelujah.
So instead of him just being in charge of a nation, he's being given a continent. That's huge. That last night, I held a service. I'm going to put it in the internet when we finish working on it for his congratulatory survey, congratulatory message from me. So I call him this morning again to congratulate him, and because he's the one that gets the tithe from me, and I send him his tithe. And then he said this to me. He said, "Son, you remember what I told you last night? The best is yet to come for you."
Hallelujah. Amen.
Yeah. So he's coming to Dallas sometime in September, and I'll be flying out to Dallas to go and serve him. That's just the way it goes. That's the guy that gave me the opportunity while the rest of the pastors were suffering and were having problems. He gave me 4 open doors at the same time. I was a full-time professor. I was the head of a department. I was a secretary of a diocese. I was pastoring 8 country churches and some city ones. And I was broadcasting on the state government TV. All that doors were open for me by him. When I came here and the Presbyterian people did not want to accept me because I come from Africa. And maybe the God of America was different from the Jesus of America, of our church, is different from the Jesus of the African continent or the Indian continent. All he needed to do was pick his phone and left them a message. He just back an order into the phone and left them a message. The following morning, they were calling me. In fact, they send somebody from North Carolina to fly in to come and beg me. I should forgive what they've done. You have to know on earth who is an eye, an ear, and a voice who has been given the anointing to be there for you. And don't do anything. Don't do anything that will make you walk away from that person. Don't do anything. As long as that person is on earth, that person is for you. That's how it goes on earth. Joshua discovered Moses and stayed with Moses. Elisha was asked to come and join Elijah. He stayed there. That's how it has been. That's how it has been. Samuel came to be with Eli, and he stayed there till Eli died. And I don't know why we go to too many people, too many organizations, too many ministries, too many churches. Why? The little that they've given to you to practice and to learn, you've not been able even to put it into practice. You still want to be moving around, looking everywhere. You can imagine how he has now to work with, is it about 4 or 5 secretaries? One in Ghana, one in Kenya, one in Congo, one in South Africa, one in other country, Uganda. And now it will mean a lot of travel through the African continent, through Europe, as long as he's in that position. Yesterday really taught me a big lesson. When things happen, they are bypassing you. And you start, they didn't give me that position. You don't know what the Almighty is putting together for you. That you were not meant for a little. You were not called to be a local champion. You were called to be in charge of a continent. And who knows, like myself, who is his boy, I might end up being in charge of a whole world. Because that's how it goes. Everything is negotiated in life. Nothing just comes. And if you are somebody who is arrogant, I don't care about you, I have Jesus, you're in big trouble. Because Jesus uses human beings to do what he want to do. So if you burn down your bridges, you are done. You can pray all you want to pray. Fast all you want to fast. If you bent your bridges with some people, you are done. Because that's what many of us do not understand. I don't care what you're telling me. I don't care. As long as I have Jesus, I'm fine. And you will go to Jesus, and Jesus will tell you to go back to human beings. And then you get stuck right there. Because you've already bent your bridges. It's like a lady I told, be careful. You and your children, what you are doing. Everywhere where they go and get a rented apartment or a townhouse or whatever, they destroy that place. They went to the welfare system, they insulted everybody in the welfare system and the child care system. So they went back to the government. They bent she's bent her bridge, her bridge. Tried to get an apartment. Nobody would give it to her. And now she has to leave town. That's what it is. So just having Jesus is not enough. I'm just being fair to you. Just having the Holy Ghost and God the Father is not fair. It's not enough. You're gonna need one human being. You don't need many. Just one. There for you. We talk about who is your painkiller. You thought that is a joke. Let's see. Let's see how this thing was negotiated. You see, what you are reading in the book of Ruth is the negotiation of life. That's another way of putting the book of Ruth. It's the negotiation about life. How a widow and her widowed daughter-in-laws negotiated with their family, the same family, with the family that they were married into. That's what the book of Ruth is about. How did they negotiate their tomorrow and their today? How did they negotiate it? I mean, you are not asked to negotiate with bad people. Elimelech's family was a good family. That's why he says Boaz was a good man. Don't negotiate with bad people, people who cannot deliver. I am here in America. The person that I just finished training in the month of June graduated. My boss went there to represent me. Think about that. And help her to get a job. Help my sister to get into a job. A better thing. Better place. Quality. Think about that. That's why when I see people saying bad thing about him, I shut them out. I tell people, shut your mouth. You don't know who you're talking about. Because many of us, we want to join outsiders to fight the finger that has fed us. And that is not fair. Even God himself will withdraw from you when he sees that. That's why when Saul tried to bite the finger that fed him, Samuel, God withdrew from him. Whenever a human being decides to bite the finger that has fed him or her, many of you women, you brought your husband to this country and they turn around against you. God will never forgive them. They will never be forgiven. And even if they've been forgiven, they will still be punished for it. Many of you gave your husband jobs, gave them cars, buy them houses, and they turn around against you. You think that is a joke? And many of them, after turning against you, will go to church to challenge you. They have a God. Who tell you have a God? When you have bitten the hand that fed you, your God is no longer there. It's a free for all. Anyone can kill you. You are coming to boast to your wife who brought you here. Yeah, I have a God. My God is great. You are joking. If you're unlucky and your wife is part of my ministry and I release my God against your God, well, the rest will be history. Because my snake will not just bite and eat the head of your snake, it will also cut its bones and also tear its tail. Read the next verse, please, my dear.
Okay. And she said to her, "Go, my daughter." Then she left and went and gleaned in the field after the reapers. And she happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was in the family of Elimelech. Verse 4.
So it means that she went into a farm. It means this was a family land. This was Boaz's family land. And I can assure you that land also comprises the land that belonged to Elimelech and his two sons. That Boaz and the rest of the family hierarchy, farmers, they were planting both theirs and the land of other family members. So she went in. It must have been, you come, you choose where you want to farm for the year. That's a family land. It must be a big acre. Big acres. Who knows how many hundreds or thousands? So the family members were already told. The bigger family members were already told that Ruth will be coming to work in the family land. That's what we are seeing here. And she happened to say she happened to come to the one that belongs to the one that belongs to who? Please read it again for me.
And she happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz.
There you go. The part of the family land that belongs to Boaz. She happened to. I don't believe that. Mary, do you believe that? That she,
That was what I was thinking.
yeah, she doesn't know that was Boaz's land. Are you serious? Well, yeah. That's funny. She happened to just arrive at Boaz's land. Even Victoria, who is reading it, just look at her voice. You will know that she is not like, yeah. You know, when Vicky does not agree, Vicky will go, yeah. Go ahead, Vicky. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 4.
This is where it begins. What we are told in chapter 2. Chapter 2 from verse 1. And what verse did you just finish reading, my dear?
I just read 3.
Okay. Verse 1 and verse 3 is allowing us entrance that things were negotiated, that Ruth is now being allowed to begin to enter into the wider family that she's married into. They are now watching her. They are now allowing her to see who owns what, who is who. That's what we are seeing. And the main person that is leading Elimelech's family is Boaz. That's what we are seeing. Chapter 2 initiates the leader of Elimelech's family. Elimelech's family is being led by Boaz. That's what we are reading. You see, God has blessed me with the gift of miracles and the gift of revelation all in one. That's why when you are watching my broadcast, be asking for miracles as you are watching it, or as you are listening, or as you are writing things down. Don't just lean. Pause and pray. That's what I do with my videos. Stop and pray, and then continue to listen. When it hits you again to stop, you stop again and pray. Come on! That's how you do it. That's how the miracle comes. Don't just watch. Don't just listen to the end and then you go to another video. They are made for meditation. What I'm doing from video 1 that I produced in 2012 till this one, they are made not to be watched. They are made not to be listened to. They are made for meditation. They are made for power. They are made for miracles. They are made for you to stop and pray. They are made for fasting. They are not made for you just to watch next, watch next. One video can last you for a whole week or two. Just one video, one broadcast. Because they are made for fasting, they are made for meditation, they are made for morning, afternoon, evening, night, midnight prayers. That's what each broadcast is meant for. They are not made for listening, for watching, and walking away. When I'm watching my videos, after 2-3 minutes, I will stop and I'll begin to pray what I'm listening to. What this guy is saying, that is me, I will pause and I will begin to pray. And then I listen a little bit, 10-20 minutes, bam, I go back into prayer. That's what they are meant for. I'm going to pause and we will start from verse 4. Please go and find something to drink, something to eat.